Obaseki's hypocrisy unveiled. Chris Nehihare's clumsy defense and Edo State's palliative paradox. Can you imagine? So Obaseki's hypocrisy had been unveiled or exposed. That's what it means. And then Chris Nehikhare, which is the commissioner for communication in Edo State, is also trying to defend the government of Obaseki. Okay, and that's they call it clumsy defense. Okay, and then with respect to the palliative paradox, I know there's issue of how the protesters discovered those warehouses, Edo State government warehouses where rice is stored, and then even some houses of the Edo PDP chieftains contain those rice as well, and the protesters busted those places and collected those things. So Obaseki's hypocrisy and Chris Harris' clumsy defense and Edo State palliative paradox. Plenty things did there. Plenty things did there. I'm telling you. So Obaseki's hypocrisy unveiled, Chris Nehihare's clumsy defense and Edo State's palliative paradox yesterday on Channels TV's morning brief show. Edo State Commissioner for Information, Chris Nehihare, stumbled into a web of contradictions. So in a misguided attack on the Minister of Niger Delta Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, FNSE, okay, that's fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Nehihare accused him of being disconnected from the realities of the #End Bad Governance protest and the state's dire situation. So Nehihare's attempt to deflect criticism only served to spotlight the hypocrisy of Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration. So with a tone that suggested he was struggling with an uncomfortable truth, Nehihare admitted that Edo State had indeed received trailers of rice from the federal government and over 10 billion naira from the 570 billion naira intervention grant. Yet, instead of addressing the pressing issues, he lamented that states struggled in a manner that seemed more like a reluctant confession. Can you imagine? So Nehihare is admitting that they received those palliatives from government there, and they're also trying to admit that most states are struggling. So the irony is staggering. While Obaseki and his administration have been vocally critical of the federal government's economic policies and dismissed palliatives as ineffective, Nehihare revealed that the state government had allocated a whopping 1 billion naira to the Edo State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, for food items. This blatant contradiction raises a crucial question. Why is the Edo State government, which denounces rice palliative as inadequate, spending 1 billion naira on the same type of aid? So that is a big question. So now, if Obaseki is saying that the federal government rice palliative is inadequate to solve the people hunger problem, why is he spending the money on the same rice again in the state? Moreover, when pressed about the utilization of the substantial revenue boost from the removal of the fuel subsidy and increased internal revenue and federal allocations, Nehihare's responses were less than convincing. See, they were less than convincing. He claimed that significant expenditures were directed towards free transportation systems, suggesting that funds were used for diesel. However, Edo residents know that the comrade buses, once a hallmark of Obaseki's administration, are now largely defunct due to poor maintenance. The government's claim of spending on diesel for these buses are suspect, given the visible decline in their operational status. So the Edo State government failure to show concrete benefit from the massive revenue it has received through FAAC, local government allocations, international grants, and loans while simultaneously ridiculing federal palliative, exposes a troubling pattern. Instead of focusing on improving the lives of the Edo citizens, the administration appears more concerned with political grandstanding and ineffectual government. Oh boy. So now they are not trading blame between PDP and APC in Edo State now. So who is writing this now? This must be Momo Ojo or Joe Momo, whoever, okay, in APC, that is writing about how Edo State government is now being exposed. Edo State government is saying that the rice palliative by the government is ineffective and not what the people want. But he's spending Edo State money to buy rice for palliative at the same time. So what has changed? What is different now between the federal government rice and Edo State hunger palliative that is doing? What is the difference? Which is a big question to answer. Okay, I've got just one comment, and somebody saying Obaseki is a disaster to Edo State. May we not repeat the likes of Obaseki in Edo State? So Obaseki is a disaster. What's your proof that Obaseki is a disaster? We don't know yet. So the trading of blames between PDP and APC in Edo State, the Edo State is still raging. Okay, while Chris Nehikhare is speaking for PDP in Edo State, while Omojo is speaking for APC in Edo State. Both of them are trading words one after the other and against each other. What a funny system, I tell you. So now, Obaseki has agreed that they received rice. Abi, what about the money, the 1 billion naira? That is the thing. Why did you not share it if it is true? Because initially when that issue leaked, they were saying that they never received rice. But now the case is down now. I'm sure they must have received that rice. They received rice, but they didn't share it. Now the people have discovered it and have collected their rice. Bagam. That is the thing. They have collected their rice. So now, Chris Nehikhare has been asked to better be speaking the truth, because all these clumsy defense is making for APC, especially with respect to this palliative thing, doesn't hold water. So it doesn't hold water at all. So the trouble and the rift between PDP and APC in Edo State continues as we await election in a few weeks' time. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.